welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well, and we look forward to game 4, isn't it? Match day 4 of the Champions League. FC Copenhagen versus Manchester City. Yes, a comfortable win last week in the first home game in the Etihad game, 5-0 of course. This one takes place on Tuesday, 11th of October. You have to be quick if you're on a normal 9 to 5 job. Yeah, 5:45 p.m. in the evening, so not too bad for me when I have to be up the next day, but yeah, I think I've got Wednesday off anyway this week. But yeah, it's one of those early times. Not had those at the Etihad yet. I don't know if there ever will be. I'm not too sure, but that'll be a nightmare for people to get there, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's not a problem with this one. It's on BT Sport. Please, we'll have a look and preview this match today. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. Join us, come on board, spread the word, it'd be great. I do City past, present and forever, of course. Lots of City new stuff, lots of City old stuff. It'd be great to get your comments and your views. And to make an old City fan very, very happy. Any thumbs ups, guys, always much appreciated. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the odds. Please check out my odds show on this game as well. Some interesting value on this one. City to win the Champions League. We were 2-1 before the home game last week, and we're still 2-1, so that's okay to win the Champions League. But interestingly enough, PSG and Bayern Munich, PSG were 5-1, Bayern Munich 11-2. Now both have gone out to 6-1. So our demolition of Copenhagen last week, 5-0, has obviously made the bookies put those a little bit out. So we're probably, even though we've not moved at all from 2-1, we're probably firmer favourites now than we were just 6 days ago as difference between these games. The match odds, yeah, last week City were 1-20 on. All right, we're away, so we're 1-9 on this time. So there you go. The bookies have been very generous. Copenhagen were 40-1 at the Etihad. They're now 25-1 at home, and the draw was 12-1 at the Etihad. It's now 17-2. So the bookies covering things, aren't they, as you'd expect. And yes, we do have previously. We do have previous at Copenhagen. We played them back, of course, in the first leg of the round of 32 UEFA Cup, back on Wednesday, the 18th of February 2009. As you know, we from last week, we actually won the home leg 2-1, so did go through. And this was 2-2 at their place. An interesting game. 30,159 people were at the game. City's team that day, Given, Anua, Richards, Dunn, Bridge, Zabaleta, Company, Ireland, Wright Phillips, Robinho. He was replaced by Casido on 89 minutes. Bellamy. And the subs who weren't used, Hart, Elano, Vassell, Garrido, Evans and Vice. Cracking team, isn't it? Yeah, we did manage 2 goals. We were the better team on the night. We only had ourselves to blame for letting 2 leads slip over in Copenhagen. And a side who actually were in the middle of them, well, not in the middle, getting towards the end of a midwinter break. So, yeah, they'd not played competitively for a few weeks when they played us, so they did very well to get a draw out of this. Just brief excerpts from the BBC match report. City were gifted the lead when keeper Jesper Christiansen shockingly allowed a tame Nedum shot to squirm out of his grasp and into the net on 29 minutes. But Ailton Almeida punished some poor City marking by heading in the corner on 56 minutes. But yes, 5 minutes later, on 61 minutes, a Stephen Ireland half volley restored our lead. And then the sucker punch for City, typical City, in the 93rd minute, I think it was, certainly the 90th minute. Plus, Martin Vingard was left free to head in an injury time equaliser. So there was still work to do back at Eastlands, which we know we did go on to win. City man of the match for that one, Sean Wright Phillips. Oh, good old Shawnee. Don't miss Shawnee. We've seen him a bit, haven't we, in and around City. He was in charge. Well, we're going over to Portugal for the officials this week. We've got Arta Diaz is in charge of this one. He's refed us twice before. Back in 2019, 18th of September 2019, a 3-0 win at Shakhtar Donetsk. And most recently, on the 24th of February 2021, a 2-0 City win at Borussia Mönchengladbach. His assistants at Portuguese Rui Tavares, yeah, pop group. Paulo Suarez, I think that's actually Suarez. I think that's Arta Diaz is the ref's middle name as well, yeah. Paulo Suarez from Portugal is the other lino. 4th official, Fabio Verissimo from Portugal. On VAR from Portugal, Tiago Martins. But we got an assistant VAR making his, what we put, the Portuguese have, I can't think what they're making his fish meal. We've got Beno Milo from France. So obviously he's the odd one out to all the Portuguese officials. So Copenhagen, we had a quick look at them last week, didn't we? How they were doing in the league, etc. In the Champions League now, match day 1, they lost 3-0 to Dortmund. They drew at home to Seville in match day 2, and of course was stuffed by us last week in match day 3. So the bottom of the group, just 1 goal less off than Sevilla, who are in 3rd spot. Obviously, we've got the Europa League to go into, haven't we? So -8 goal difference. In the Danish league, they just played 1 more game since they played us, and they played the team that currently now leads the Superliga. And as at Sunday, the 9th of October AM, this is how they stand. They stand 6 still out of 12 after 12 games. Of course, there's a lot of games today as well as I'm recording this, so that they may slightly change. So they've won 5, lost 6, and now drawn 1. That's the first game they've drawn. 19 goals scored, 17 against. Just 18 points, yeah. So since they played Nordjylland, on Saturday when we were playing Southampton, say that was their first draw of this league season, and it was a little disappointing. They took a late lead, 83 minutes. They took a lead, but they couldn't hang on, and Nordjylland equalised in the 93rd minute. I mean, they could find top spot nicked off them by Randers today. But as seen last week, anything less, we don't have to talk too much about Copenhagen. I mean, anything less than a comfortable City win will be a bit of a shock. Let's be honest about it. No disrespect. It's just the facts. And as ever, it'll be interesting to see 11 Pep puts out. And even if he makes 4 or 5 changes to the Southampton game, City should be able to see Copenhagen off without too much trouble. So what's Pep going to do for this one? Certainly with one eye on a big game coming up. So decisions after the Saints game, after the 4-0 victory over Southampton. Just look at the bench, look at the guys left on the bench, and then look at the last week's starting lineup against Copenhagen. Perhaps we can try and mishmash the two together and come up with what Pep will do. I think he will have one eye on the weekend trip to Anfield. So if you look at the bench against Southampton, you had Ortega, Gundogan, Laporte, Grealish, Alvarez, Gomez, Palmer, Lewis and Wilson-Esbrand. If you look at last week's 11, who beat Copenhagen 5-0, Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Gomez, Mahrez, Gundo, Bernardo, Grealish, Alvarez and Haaland. So really, I don't think there's anyone else, no other permutation. It's like, it's going to be that team plus the guys I've already mentioned who were on the subs bench yesterday. So, yeah, if you start in goal, as I said, it will be tempting to put Ortega in, but I think once City win this, and hopefully we will win it, fingers crossed, you may see a game or two in the last couple of games of the group. So I still don't think Ortega will start in this one. It won't be a total surprise if he does, but I think Pep will want to get this one won, and he'll stick with his tried and trusted. I think Laporte will play in this. I think he'll come in for this just to get a game. I'm not too sure he'll be playing at Anfield. And as I said, Pep's having a look at that as well. But if Laporte plays, who will be alongside him? I mean, if Diaz comes in, Aki and Akanji both may still feature in defensive roles on the left and right, respectively. But for me, Gomez will probably get another crack at this. I was surprised he didn't play against Southampton. I doubt he'll be tempted at all to either play Lewis or Wilson-Esbrand as defenders because he's just got so much at the moment fit defenders he can use. I say he's making use of Akanji as a right back, etc. Aki as a left back, stuff like that. Rodri or Gundogan? No, possibly not. But I think both may start. They both, not as a double pivot DM, but I think obviously now Rodri came back for the Southampton game. Can't imagine he won't start this one, even with Liverpool on the horizon. But he could have either or of those two. KDB could be rested, but he's doing well. He's fit since he's had this injury problem last season. Had this sorted out by the looks of it, and he's sort of been non-stop this season. We don't worry every time he gets fouled and stuff like that. But of course, you've got Bernardo and Foden away as well in the mix there. But I do doubt, obviously, Palmer will get any sort of start in this. There's no way even against Copenhagen that I think Pep will start Palmer. A bit further up top, Grealish and Alvarez, I think are likely to start as he did in the first game against Copenhagen. But what does he do with Haaland? Does he played him for the full game against Southampton? Does that mean he'll give him a rest against Copenhagen? Or is he just going to keep working him because he's fit enough? Why not? He's going to get a good enough rest in about 5 weeks' time, isn't he? So there you go. That's sort of ifs and buts, if you like. So this is my 11. This is what we could end up with, and I'm far from convinced, guys, on this one. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts of the 11 are. So I will go with this. As I say, there's options within this. I say I'm not. If I can get 8 of these right, I think I'll be quite happy. In fairness, Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Gomez, Rodri, Gundogan, and KDB, Grealish, Alvarez, and yes, I've put Haaland in. Very difficult to pick. Let me know what you think. Akanji, Foden, Bernardo are for me just as likely to start. But Pep will take people off as and when, as long as the game plan's working, and we're comfortable. Because as I said, he certainly will be looking towards Anfield the following weekend. So there you go. Let me know your 11, guys. Be interested. As I said, I'm far from convinced. That's probably as far as being confident is concerned. Probably my least confident prediction so far this season. But please let me know your 11, what you think. Please check out the Odds Show, where we managed to find perhaps a little bit more value, perhaps in the home game in that one. And of course, the player ratings show I will hopefully get out on Tuesday evening, and of course the talking points on sometime on Wednesday. So join me for those, and of course the odds show and preview show for the upcoming game at Anfield for the Liverpool game. And don't forget, busy. Citizen Channel live on Monday night 7 p.m. Join me for that if you can. Even if you want to get on for 5 or 10 minutes, come and say hello. It'd be great to have you on board, and we'll chat. We'll chat this last week, Southampton, Copenhagen. We'll chat Copenhagen and Liverpool coming up, stuff like that. So it'll be great. You can get on board. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Until we meet again, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Bye for now.